Mark, before we get to the latest partnership and what exactly OpenAI is going to do for Apple, and more, equally as important, vice versa, give us a little bit of the history between Apple and Sam Altman, because the relationship, as you write in your piece, it goes back years to just after the iPhone was first released. Why did a then 23-year-old Sam Altman take the stage at WWDC?
So interesting. The last time that Sam Altman was involved with Apple in any public sense was, like you said, 2008. Now, let me take you back to '08. The App Store had not yet launched. The App Store launched in July, right? Actually, July 9th of 2008. And in June, early June, they held their final worldwide developers conference before that launch. To get people interested in the App Store and app development on iOS, they spent a good half, nearly an hour of that conference that year. And this was back when Steve Jobs was leading the company, bringing up different app developers to talk about their different app initiatives. And Sam Altman came up to present Looped. This was a precursor sort of to Find My iPhone, Find My Friends. It was a very well-received app. Ultimately, the app did so well that it got acquired back almost 15 years ago for about $50 million. So this was a big deal. And for Altman, this helped give him promotion to sell Looped, right? But for Apple, it also proved the App Store as a third-party application platform.
Mark, tell us why Apple is turning now to Altman in 2024 for something to do with AI. I mean, this would seem like, Apple, where I would think the biggest and brightest minds in the tech world reside. Why is it that they don't have those people in-house and that they're turning to Sam Altman for help?
I have to tell you, Molly, it's pretty embarrassing for Apple.
It seems like it is. I would think so.
Right. They missed the boat on generative AI and probably modern artificial intelligence as a whole. And it's very interesting to me that they've had to go this way and partner with OpenAI versus being able to build a chatbot in-house. So Apple will have its own large language models and different technologies to run AI on the iPhone. But for a chatbot, something that people are used to already now since the end of 2022, those OpenAI-like features, they're partnering with OpenAI to integrate that deep into the iPhone experience. They held talks with Anthropic, they held talks with Google Gemini as well, but ultimately they've landed on OpenAI as their initial launch partner. I expect them to eventually strike a deal with Gemini and others in the future. They're still talking to Google about this. But this is really interesting. I thought last year, with the introduction of the Vision Pro, that last year's WWDC was the biggest Apple launch in 5 years or so. Truth is, it's this year, because AI not only is the current, but it is the future. It's going to make their current devices better. But if they don't get their AI technology in order, they're going to miss out on the next wave of artificial intelligence-driven devices. In my Power On column this Sunday, I'm going to get into more what that means for Apple, but just to give you a little bit of a taste here. You've seen other people come out with devices sort of like the Humane AI Pin, complete failure. They're up for sale. You've seen the Rabbit R1. You've seen Samsung integrate AI into their phone, similar to how Apple's going to do so next week. But the real stuff is what's enabled by AI. Things like next generation AirPods, humanoid robots, augmented reality glasses, future versions of the Vision Pro, more advanced processors in Macs. That requires an extraordinarily sophisticated handle on next generation AI technologies. That's why this is so important. This is not about the iPhone 15, 16, 17, or even 18. This is about the product categories that don't exist yet. And if they don't get their AI in good shape, those categories will never exist.